Before each work shift involving the use of boom lifts, pre-start inspections must be performed. This ensures that all equipment is in good working condition, safety precautions are in place, and the worksite is ready. During these inspections, vehicle components should be gone over, making sure the boom lift has the proper fluid levels with no leaks, the wheels and tires are in good shape, any batteries on board are charged, the controls and all horns, gauges, lights, and alarms work, and the steering and braking elements are operational. It's also important to inspect the lift components and make sure they're operating and all emergency controls work. All placards, warning signs, and instructional markings should be legible and readily available. If they aren't, they must be replaced immediately. Inspections should also include checking cables, outriggers and other stabilizers, guardrail systems, and checking for loose or missing parts. Do not operate the boom lift if any of these areas don't pass inspection until it's repaired by a qualified person. Defective boom lifts should be tagged out or removed from service until repairs are done. On top of inspecting the lift itself, the worksite needs to be checked for hazardous conditions. A walk around the area should be done before work begins. Common hazards to be on the lookout for include drop-offs, holes, loose dirt, unstable surfaces, slopes, ditches, and bumps. You should also be aware of overhead power lines or other obstructions, low ceiling heights in indoor workplaces, and floor debris or obstructions. Weather conditions need to be taken into consideration as boom lifts should not be used in icy, high wind, or other severe weather conditions. Finally, it's important to be aware of other people or equipment in the area. Even with all the proper inspections done, there's still hazards that exist when using a boom lift. The most common ones are electrocution, falls, tip over and collapse, and collisions. Taking safety precautions helps prevent these hazards from becoming disasters. One of the most deadly dangers associated with boom lifts is electrocution from the lift coming into contact with overhead power lines and conductors. Due to their height and movements, OSHA and the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI, both set standards specifying minimum distances from electrical lines based on voltage. For example, if electrical wires are less than 50,000 volts, the minimum distance is 10 feet. The safe minimum distance increases as the volts increase. Voltages between 200,000 and 349,000 require a minimum distance of 20 feet, and anything over 750,000 volts requires a minimum distance of 45 feet. To put this into perspective, the average overhead power line carries about 380,000 volts, so boom lifts should maintain a distance of no less than 25 feet. These distances include any conductive tools or objects workers might be using on the boom lift, including wires, pipes, and ducts. Always assume a power line is active, even if it appears to be down or insulated. Other precautions to help prevent electrocution include only using tools that are double insulated or have a grounding plug when on the boom platform. Don't operate a boom lift outside if there's threat of lightning or any other inclement weather. Another common hazard associated with boom lifts is falls. Boom lift multidirectional movements make them especially dangerous if workers aren't properly secured or if sudden movements occur. Current ANSI standards require all Group B lifts, like boom lifts, to be used with a personal fall arrest system. A personal fall arrest system is used to stop someone from falling off of a platform using a point of anchorage on the platform, a body harness, and connectors like a shock-absorbing lanyard or self-retracting lifeline. Body harnesses should be connected to the platform or bucket at all times. Never connect to something like a pole or structure outside of the platform. It's important to choose the right personal fall arrest system for the situation, and only a qualified person is authorized to make this choice. Fall clearance is also an important aspect of choosing the right system, as there needs to be enough distance between the platform and the ground for the fall arrest system to be used effectively. In addition to personal fall arrest systems, guardrails should also be provided on all open sides of the platform or bucket. Both feet should be kept on the floor of the platform at all times. Never try to stand on the guardrails, sides of the bucket, or other materials to reach something outside of the lift. The platform should be kept clear of debris, and tools should be stored in a way that prevents tripping hazards. The platform should only be entered or exited when it's fully lowered. Tip over or collapse of the boom lift can occur when the lift isn't properly stabilized. This hazard is the second leading cause of injury after electrocution. To reduce the risk, never exceed the manufacturer's specific maximum load for the boom lift. This includes the weight of all people, tools, and other equipment on board. Always use wheel chocks and brakes when the boom lift is being operated on a slope. The slope should never exceed 5% or the manufacturer's maximum slope, whichever is less. The boom lift should be operated on a firm surface with outriggers or other stabilizers in place on flat, solid ground. If a boom lift is designed to move with the platform extended, follow all manufacturer's guidelines on speed and never drive over debris, potholes, bumps, or floor grates. The boom or platform shouldn't be tied or fastened to another structure at any time. Loads on the platform should be dispersed evenly to maintain a center of gravity. Materials shouldn't be hung from or extended beyond the platform. Most boom lifts are designed for one person at a time. More than one person shouldn't be on the platform or bucket unless the lift is specifically designed for multiple people. Boom lifts shouldn't be used in windy conditions or other inclement weather. Collisions can occur with overhead obstructions or with equipment or even people on the ground. Before lowering the platform, look to make sure there are no people or objects in the way. The use of an audible alarm or voice command is recommended to alert those working around the lift of its movements. Whenever possible, avoid using a boom lift in high traffic areas. Set up barricades establishing a safe perimeter around the lift for traffic and pedestrians. Since boom lifts can move in multiple directions, be aware of the swing range of the boom and be alert for any obstacles that could be in its way. Be aware of the overhead clearance of the boom lift in all areas of the worksite, and use a spotter in tight areas or where visibility is difficult. They can help detect and alert of any potential collision risks. Other less common but still important hazards to be on the lookout for include entanglement, improper use, and atmospheric hazards. To prevent entanglement with any parts, keep hands, arms, and other body parts inside the platform, and avoid wearing loose clothing that could become stuck in chains, pulleys, or other moving mechanisms. Long hair should be pulled back or tucked inside the helmet. To mitigate injury due to improper use, remove the key and secure the boom lift when it's not in use to prevent use by unauthorized people. Only certified persons are allowed to operate the boom lift. Never horseplay in or around the lift. Since boom lifts consist of electrical parts that could produce sparks, they shouldn't be used in spaces with flammable or explosive materials. Boom lifts that produce exhaust from gasoline or diesel should only be used in well-ventilated areas. Maintenance schedules should be strictly followed, and any boom lift that doesn't appear to be operating correctly should be taken out of service. Understanding the hazards involved in using boom lifts and following the necessary precautions can help alleviate dangers and prevent accidents or injury.